Holy crud! We're getting right into it because this book is that cool. It's the Goo Goo Dolls Song. It's the City of Angels soundtrack. It's angels giving up eternity for these Earth women.
Totally. I'm gonna whatever do myself.
I like your shirt.
Can you see that? Did you ever go there?
Oh yeah, yeah. I met Jimmy a bunch.
Oh yeah,
He's a cool guy.
He was.
Yeah.
I was really happy that he got his own shop there right before he, passed.
Yeah. That's like some infamous shit. That spot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people probably listening can't see that you're wearing a trash and vaudeville shirt.
I'm trying. That's why I put it on, but my angle is dumb, but yeah.
Yeah.
St. Mark's.
Yeah, there was this badass clothing store in fucking New York. It was run by this punk rock guy named Jimmy. You should tell him.
I mean, that's pretty much the whole story. He was this great guy. He was he was like God. He was the sweetest man. He was probably 85 pounds soaking wet,
Exactly.
Yeah. He's one of those old school New York recovering addicts who just was there for everything and then had run in the shop forever. And then they lost. I don't know exactly how that place closed down. I think they lost their lease or, just gentrification or whatever. And then he got some help from couple fellas to open his new his own shop. I remember what it was called because I have dark holes in my memory. and then I think just right before COVID he passed. But really, 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 really sweet guy.
Yeah, he was really
to
sweet.
everybody.
Yeah.
Didn't care who you were. Like, oh, that's cool, man.
Oh man. Oh man.
Totally. I can't remember. Did you send me the link? Fucking Enoch, bitches.
It's so good,
dude. I was like, who was I talking to? Who, and then there's everybody that I wasn't talking to because it's like last night I went out and had happy hour with a friend who's kind of we've known each other for probably 10 years, but we've only recently started hanging out. And last night was our second hang. And he's a religious guy. He's he's got faith. And didn't bring it up. Didn't bring up
the podcast.
No, I think
I totally understand.
I think we might have talked about it the last time, but it's like no. But and not because any other reason other than I don't know. It doesn't always naturally come up, and I don't know what it is. I've gotten out of the what do you call it? The mindset of self promotion.
Yeah, evangelism maybe even.
Well,
non-evangelistic. Now you're like,
Well, when
God
I was
wants, he keeps.
When I was 20 years younger than you are now. And back then being in a band was really cool.
It was like being a YouTube star back then.
It was way cooler than that.
Yeah.
No, it was way cooler than that because there weren't very many and everybody was interested in it.
Yeah.
Nobody, a lot of people now, even old people, especially older, don't even understand what a YouTube star is.
Yeah.
But everybody knows what a band is. Everybody grew up listening to music now, no matter how old you are. Everybody loves some kind of music. And so, yeah, I would always, hey, if you give me your phone number, it would be like one of the first things I ever said, like, hey, I'm in a band. If you give me your phone number, I'll call you when we're playing. Really? You'll call me? A band member? Because they didn't know if I was fucking Pearl Jam or whatever it was. Oh, okay. So that was just, and now it's like, Now people ask me, so what's your band doing? Like in a group setting, he's like, what's your band?
Let's. Do you like sports? How do you just change the conversation as fast?
Have you read the Bible? You know.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm assuming this guy was from this time.
No, I don't know. How do we get there? Let's see.
Planning.
What like the self promote, like it never dawns on me. Like I feel actually, it's funny you say YouTube star because I feel really conspicuous when what are you doing right now? What are you doing now? I'm like, well, I have a band that plays all Fleetwood Mac songs, and and I do a couple of podcasts, and I feel like some creepy in my garage. I feel like some creepy character in a Seth Rogen movie or something, like Paul Rudd or Paul. What's his name? Which Paul was that? Slapping the bass.
Yeah, it's Paul Rudd.
Is that Paul Rudd? Yeah, I feel a little bit like him, maybe. It's like, so much. No, I love him too, but he's famous, and they're making fun,
right? Yeah, I got
of what I'm doing right now. So I'm like, well, I don't do very much. I sit around a lot.
Well,
I do yoga.
What about the dogmatic conversation? So, like, why did you want to breach it with it? Was it a vibe thing? Were you?
No, I honestly, and I've thought about this, and I thought about it, and I thought about talking to you about it because I feel a little not conspicuous necessarily, but I'm much more hardlined on here than I ever would be to someone other than you. You know,
because we're free, we're smoking weed, we're chilling, we're hanging out.
Well, and I'm worried about you. Like, it's like I know exactly. I know exactly. The immersion you've been put through, and I know exactly how it's affected you, and I know what you do believe and what you're trying to unpack. So I feel perfectly, safe. I guess the word is safe. I feel totally safe, like putting up hard boundaries for you, and during our and that's and things I say as far as like sheep and sheeple and and people not thinking for themselves and not reading a book that their whole lives are based around. Jesus. That, I mean, it's true, but that's not something I would say to someone's face. I don't know. Exactly. Okay, well, what I meant to say was, you're a moron. It's like, what are you going to do? It's like, I don't know that's I don't feel comfortable enough calling someone a moron to their face to call them a moron to their face. Right. And the reality of it is that this person and most of people, this person is not a moron. Very intelligent guy. And I'm, I don't know if the word is envious, but like he has his poop in a group. He's got, 3 kids between, 6 and 13 and, just a sweetheart of a guy. And faith is a gigantic part of that. We were out and, his kids were at youth center for
youth group.
Wednesday night. Yeah. Wednesday night. Yeah. And I'm like, I remember youth group. I loved youth group.
Me too.
That was like oh shit, there's a cool part of church. It's like, okay.
Get to play games and run around.
Well, and the youth pastor was a young person, a Peg. She was awesome,
That's right.
But
he's still in it.
So what's that?
He's still in it. This guy, he's still there. He's still in it all.
Oh, well, he's not, he's not like I don't know what his denomination is other than Christian or maybe Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's this generational, like, I think it's just the luck of the draw. Because you but your grandparents weren't religious, were they?
totally religious.
Oh,
Crazy.
same kind?
Yes.
Same kind?
Yes. Southern Baptist.
Okay.
Southern. My grandpa was from Georgia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Devil went down to Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a handsome
Had
fuck
some
too.
souls
so
to save.
he had some crazy times down there.
Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah.
I think I might have hit that. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like what, 9 kids or no, I think he had like 12 kids.
38 kids.
So it's ridiculous, right? But yeah, so they grew up, and again, I get it. Like faith outside. Well, let me go back to what you said. It's like, yeah, it's a luck of the draw thing. Like, what vagina were you shot out of? What church is within a 10 to 20 mile radius of your home?
Yeah.
It's just like what your parents before you believed and what was convenient for you to get to on fucking Sunday mornings usually seems to shape your faith. And I guess it's fun for us here because mine was so messed up. And I don't think most people's are, you know, I like again, we bring up Kevin a lot, but like people like that of faith, I just fucking love. I respect. I want to listen
Kevin,
to him talk.
our guy?
Yeah, Kevin Whitmore. Yeah.
Now, was he raised religious? Did we find that out?
Shoot, Kevin, you want to come back on? You're our smartest friend.
We got some more. We got some more questions for you.
You're our smartest friend.
We got some more questions you're not going to answer.
We're just gonna sit here like staring at it, like
waiting. Yeah.
But yeah, when those people talk, I'm mystified, But unfortunately, I take the opposite side, and I'm trying not to, because like the funny part, when you brought up this, I'm not comfortable calling someone a moron to their face. I literally did the other day when I was having a religious debate with someone. I was like, I'm sorry, you're a fucking idiot. But and I didn't mean to, I didn't mean to be that rude, but what they were saying was
I'm rubbing off on you. All of a sudden you started talking, you're a fucking idiot.
Like, it was in a public place with a lot of people around.
Was this your church though?
No, it was in a bar, but
was it your denomination?
Yeah, I'm going to assume it was. Yeah. And like, I get it. Like I fell for every fucking piece of dogma that was handed down to me. I didn't just fall for it, I championed it. I would talk about the atonement of Christ, the sacrifice of Christ, a Christ service based lifestyle, purity culture. I was in the whole thing. I fell for it all. Again, you should fact check. You should read. You should find a robust. Define your own opinions on the whole thing.
Yeah, okay, that's strong. Fine. Yes, you should. But you got to use some. Yes, you should.
Oh, you're being nice for me.
No, I'm not being nice. I'm concurring. Do you concur? I concur. Why didn't I just concur? But you don't. I think you didn't have the luxury of all the options you just named, all the things that people should do. You didn't have that option because you were born into it, and they didn't teach you to read. You couldn't read for yourself. You couldn't ask. It's like, so it's like you didn't have all those options. So that's why it's miraculous that we're sitting here. It's like you could be squirting espressos at Buckley still, if you weren't such a hardworking, motivated, self-thinking individual.
Well, that's but see, and you, Jonah Bergman, Squires, there's all these people in my life that like.
Don't talk about Squires.
I love Squires. One of us has to give a hard time on here.
He just listens, so it's like,
don't
talk about Squires. He's not as cool as us.
The fucking
he's cool. Do you know where he is right now? He's on tour again.
I know.
Love that shit. Asshole. It's not luck, bitch. That guy fucking works.
That guy fucking works.
Hustler.
Works.
He's a hustler, baby. I want you to know.
Well, in opinion and thought,
you fucking hustle, don't you?
In opinion and thought, I went on that podcast, the High Friends podcast. It was really fun. And
which one?
It was called High Friends. This guy Adam.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
So he brought up this really fun thing, and it's like you, Squires, Bergman, maybe Burke Thomas too. Like there's a couple people that were like this for me, where you grow up in a church, you grow up in an echo chamber, you develop your opinions and thoughts on the world, on the Bible, on religion, and you don't really have any good counter arguments, not any strong ones that are right. Kind of like your friend when you're like, none of this is based on, they can't prove any of this, right? That friend that called into the podcast a while ago. So when you do meet someone with a decent argument that actually has some fucking flesh to the bones, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like Adam equated it to like your whole life you've been playing Mike Tyson Punch Out on Nintendo, conversationally speaking,
Yeah.
And then you actually have to get in the ring with Mike Tyson, these other. It's like it's so easy to believe because you don't have any other piece of data in front of you. It's all dogma.
Well, and the people that you respect the most,
yes,
are like showering you and immersing you in this lone thought, dude, stream.
Right, and that's.
Oh, that's right. Dude is is he your same denomination? Was he?
No, I don't think so. I think he was probably a cool one. It seems like the church his dad pastored was big.
That was a pastor, right?
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. We'll go on there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. In fact, I'll text him after this. Stop yelling. What is this, Christmas?
Right.
I learned it from watching you, Dad.
Okay?
But the dog, the dog was.
Let's get right.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was trying to get us there.
I'm not. Hey, crack.
We need a whip crack sound.
Oh yeah. Or like a snare breakdown on a disco beat. Crack.
That fucking.
Yep.
You got to hit the sticks at different times, folks. That's how you do it. Just a little bit. Pop.
There's a name for that.
Really?
Called a flam.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that's what that was called. I've just heard that word a lot.
Flam.
Yeah. Flam. Paradiddle, flam, paradiddle.
And then you got your flamadiddle.
Flamadiddles?
Oh, sure.
So you can flam in a paradiddle pattern? I love that shit. I do that all the time. Yeah. But I'm bad.
You should get it right. If you're going to practice.
I take it. I already did it wrong.
Right, left, right, left, right,
left.
Yeah. And then you got your Radamacues.
What's a Radamacu?
Never mind. You know what? They're not real because they're not in the Bible. So let's move on. Enoch.
I'm like not even. There we go. Wait.
Patrick Porter, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
So bad.
Randall. Hey. What's going on, Randall?
Dude. Section 3. I'm going to spark this motherfucker up.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Somebody's got to get high. Or we're not doing our job.
Not doing the work of the Lord.
Chapter 12. And previous to all these things, Enoch was hidden, and not one of the children of men knew where he was hidden, and where he was, and what had become of him. All his deeds were with the holy ones, and with the watchers in his days. And I, Enoch. So, I don't know that we've ever had someone say, and motherfucker, I'm writing this, motherfucker. I don't know that we've ever had someone Beastie Boy name check themselves yet in the Bible.
Yeah, I feel like it maybe just Matthew, right?
But over here. I feel like, but honestly, it's my better side. So.
Some motherfucking pomp and circumstance, though. Yeah. Where is he hidden?
Well, he's not hidden. He just said he was fucking hanging with the watchers.
Right, so that's just flashes in my mind. I'm like, is that a parallel dimension? Is he
right? Or step behind he's behind the curtain, man.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
4.
All his deeds were with the holy ones, and with the watchers in his days.
Damn.
And I, Enoch, was praising the great Lord and the King of the world. And behold, the watchers called to me, Motherfucking Enoch, the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, thou scribe of justice, go announce to the watchers of heaven who have left the high heaven and the holy eternal place and have contaminated themselves with women.
Yeah.
And have done as the children of men do, and have taken to themselves wives, and are contaminated in great contamination upon the earth.
Oh my God.
But upon earth they shall have no peace, nor forgiveness of sin, for they will not enjoy their children. They will see the murder of their beloved ones, and they will lament over the destruction of their children, and will petition to eternity, but mercy and peace will not be unto them.
They fucked up good.
You done fucked up again.
They fucked up good.
Damn, that's heavy.
Dude, the fact that they would give up, it seems like they voluntarily did this too. Remember the curse pack and shit?
Yeah, you got to figure timeline. Think about timeline, right? Because they in the last chapter they talked about like they made this pact, then they went down and did it, and it was like, it was a while. They were fucking tapping boots and making babies.
There's babies showing up.
Yeah. Well, and babies were growing, and they were still, because they contaminated the whole place. So it's like, and maybe they're eternal, and they're like, you know what? Fucking tired of being eternal. I want to get me some, and then he'll put us to, then he'll kill us all, put us out of our misery. It's like that thing about like, so I'm going to be happy forever. Won't that get boring? Like some Bart Simpson questions and shit.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah. Yeah. So, like, maybe what we're dealing with here is rogue angels who are just like, fuck this shit. And not like, he's not calling them the devil.
No,
like, he's not.
The Watchers.
But what's crazy, though, is like, isn't this what the devil did? Is like, he came down and like,
yes.
What's the difference between
great
the devil?
Morning star? Well, Lucifer, the devil, again, he's a complex character in the Bible because, like, even Satan, the word Satan it means adversary.
Yeah,
so he's essentially the antagonist in every story of God.
Rhetorical question.
Yeah, right. So it's like,
the one I asked you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's good.
Just pondering.
Let's get high and read the Bible is brought to you by Magic Medicine Marijuana.
Well, let me tell you. I wrote a song about it. We'll see how it goes. Okay. All right. Where were we? And so
13.
So Enoch is enlisted to go tell these fools, oh, you done fucked up again.
And they had like 450 feet tall babies, right?
A gaggle of them. A murder of them, right?
Like you could probably see that from pretty far away, right?
From heaven. Yeah. I mean, you can see the Great Wall from heaven. You definitely can see a 450-foot baby. Right. I still want some clarification. Like, it comes out of a human vagina, and then it grows to be 400 feet. It's like a beanstalk. What is it, like a magic baby? Apparently, it is, right? Oh, that's what.
All the scholars that I enjoy, I get, because they all, they're like, it's weird. There's these 450 tall human beings, angel things walking around the earth. Every lecture I've ever heard on this shit has always been like, and they're 450 feet tall.
I think that it just seems, where do they go to the bathroom?
Anywhere they want.
No, I know, but they're smart babies, right? They're half God, right? They're magical, right? So they know. It's not like they're like 450-foot baby gorillas or elephants or something. It's like they're wise and they're cognizant of their size differential. I mean, do you think any more super like self-conscious? It's like Elf, like Buddy, like Will Ferrell.
I think that I like it. I like this angle.
Well, it's
They're
just
like they're just sitting there in a classroom, like with binoculars, looking down at the teacher.
anti-binoculars, backwards binoculars. They got the big end on their eyes. Yeah, it's just like, well, okay. Like Among Us, like again, think
I
about 450 feet is what, like, is that like how many stories is that? Like, is that 40
let's
stories?
fucking look this up because I've wondered. I wondered this last time.
Because if you're a 40-story person, how do you not step on people?
I don't know.
No, now I want an answer. That wasn't rhetorical.
That's 34 floors.
Okay, so
That's
34.
34 floors tall.
How tall? How tall? How tall is the Space Needle? How tall is the Smith Tower? Where's my stinking phone? Let's see here. I think the Smith Tower is about that, and that doesn't seem too outlandish, actually. Mm.
Smith Tower is 38.
Yeah. Okay. So without the little thing on top, the Smith Tower, and for a long time it was. Well, you know what? That's not as tall as you think. You can't see it from heaven.
Here's a great thing. The top floor of the Space Needle is 518 feet. So,
so right there.
They're
right
around that. They would be around that.
Okay.
But again, maybe a lot. Remember all the repeating numbers in the Old Testament, this is back in that time, right?
Yeah,
they always like seem to represent something.
I don't want to hear about that shit. I don't give two.
Listen,
numerology.
That isn't fun. Why do you keep killing the fun, Leif?
Dude, smoke more weed. Hey, that weed's burning. It's not going to smoke itself.
Hey, man.
Hold on. Trying to close all this shit here. Okay.
Chapter 13.
Yeah. And Enoch, not stoked with the message he had to deliver, dragged his ass down from heaven. And Enoch, departing, said to Azazel, I
think so.
That wilt have no peace, a great condemnation. It should have been a condemnation. They wouldn't have some.
That would have helped with those babies.
Right? Yeah. Has come upon thee, and he, i.e., Raphael, 10:4, Raphael, will bind thee, and alleviation and intercession and mercy will not be unto thee, because thou hast taught oppression, and because of all the deeds of abuse, oppression, and sin, which thou hast showed to the children of men. And then going, I spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid. Fear and trembling seized them. And they asked me to write a memorial petition for them, that they thereby might attain forgiveness, and to carry their memorial petition before God.
That was fucking easy.
What?
Well, they just already gave up.
Yeah, see, this is the part where, like maybe they knew God was but God smites them. This is right just before. Is this what God? Is this why God floods?
I'm assuming. Again, I'm trying. I thought last week went well. And so I think me not reading the Bible for 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
So I have not read ahead. Like,
well, no, yeah, but you know about. Oh, and you've never read Enoch, so you don't even know what the hell. Okay, but you are. But did you confirm the bloodline as Enoch Noah's dad?
Well, yeah, it's not his dad. I think it's his grandpa or great grandpa. I feel.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's in there. He's in the genealogy. Again, I believe the line is and Enoch walked with God and was no more. It's like this,
and that's in Genesis.
I'll even make sure I'm right about that. So it's like, at least in the folklore of this religion, he's like maybe the holiest dude ever. Because who else did God just like yoink take up to heaven?
Yeah.
So in their minds, he's like fucking Beyonce.
Yeah. Yeah. Or at least Lizzo.
Lizzo.
Hey boy.
Genesis 5:24. Enoch walked with God. Enoch walked faithfully with God. Then he was no more because God took him away.
Yeah, that's short-sighted. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
It's, this does not work in the grand, like if you're trying to craft a religion, this does not work.
It's got some hard cells. It's got
Well,
some hard cells.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's like there's a guy who's Moses is sort of made up. You know what I mean? This dude is saying, I fucking motherfucking Enoch bitches, E to the N to the OCH. He's like name checking himself. He's like the original Beastie Boy, and he's saying, like, he went up to heaven and was interfacing. God sends him down. He's not an angel. He's a guy, right?
Yeah,
apparently, yeah. And it doesn't ever say, "Oh, I spent it. He came down to my tent and he wanted to bang my wife, and I served him tea and shit." He's like, "Nah, we're just homies."
He's
homies.
got access, dude. He's got a fucking pass.
He's
up
got
and down.
fucking access. Totally.
Yeah, dude.
Mono e mono.
Oh God,
right.
yeah. Let me go talk to him real quick.
You're gonna have to blow me for that. Whoa. Oh wait, sorry. Is that 270s? Oh, God. Right in the taco.
Yeah, you got me.
Cough button. Oh, turn that cough button off. There it is. That's good. Yeah.
Oh
okay.
my God.
And behold. And below, let's see now. And the memorial petition, forgiveness. See, I'm not buying the forgiveness. Like, and again, remember, like,
I think they're just like
Noah,
begging for it at this point, though, right? They're just like,
they just said write it. They just said write an apology. Like if they got busted, shoplifting or something. But remember, Noah lived to be like 500, right?
I think like 900.
Yeah. Okay. So these lifetimes are like elongated. So you figure these guys were like I said, these guys were soiling the planet, and like,
I don't know where you go with this, but I want to know.
I'm just saying that, like, the part I'm still with kamikaze watchers. Like, they knew they were tired of eternal salvation and the glory and light of God. They're like, we want to tap some of that,
dude.
We got these dinglings, we never get to use them.
I'm liking it too.
And so this part where they, whatever.
No.
I think no. I think the in my take is that the trembling, that's all a show. They're just buying themselves more time. And as soon as Enoch leaves, they'll be like,
"Oh, we'll never do it again.
Come here." So, for they could not from now on speak with him.
Oh, wow.
Nor could they raise their eyes towards heaven from shame on account of their sins for which they were being punished. Then I wrote this memorial petition and prayed with reference to their souls and for each of their deeds and for that which they had asked of me, that they thereby might obtain forgiveness and patience. And going, I sat down near the waters of Dan in Dan. No judging. Which is to the right, i.e. the south of the evening side, i.e. west of Hermon, and read their memorial petition till I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions fell upon me. And I saw the vision of chastisement to show to the sons of heaven, and to upbraid them. And having become awake, I went to them, and they were all assembled, lamenting in Ubelzjail, which is between the Lebanon and the Senazer, with their faces covered. And I related before them all the vision that I had seen in my sleep, and commenced to speak those words of justice and to upbraid the watchmen of heaven.
What?
What does upbraid mean?
I have no idea. Let's look it up right now.
Okay.
Scold.
Scold.
So
Not to be confused with skull,
words
brother.
of judges and to upbraid the watchman.
Yeah.
That makes
Scold.
sense because they fucked up.
Yeah, they done fucked up again.
They done fucked up.
Yeah. This writing is the word of justice and the admonition of the watchers who are from eternity, as the holy and great one commanded in it. Fuck you. This writing is the word of justice and the admonition of the watchers who are from eternity, as the holy and great one commanded it in this vision. I saw in my sleep what I now will relate with a tongue of flesh and with my breath, which the great one has given to the mouth of men, that they might converse with it and understand it in their hearts. As he has created and given to men the power to understand the word of knowledge, thus also he has created me and given to me the power to upbraid the watchers, the sons of heaven. Fuck, that's a baller. That's a baller.
That's some fucking. That's like the wolf or something. That's like Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction. Like he's fucking coming in to clean house.
Dude. Well, he's just a dude who's like dressing down the fucking immortals.
That's cool, man.
That's a
Is
good
that like
gig.
Heracles too? Hercules, right?
Are Heracles and Hercules the same guy?
Mm-hmm.
Heracles and Hercules?
Heracles is how you say it. Yeah. It was just according to my Hellenistic friend, who runs a Hellenistic church. Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, he smokes a lot of weed too, though, so maybe he's wrong.
I don't know.
Well, here. I'll do that later. But anyway, it's like, yeah, he's like going up there to motherfucking.
No, he's down. He's down in heaven. He's down on earth doing it.
Sorry, yeah, he's, but it's just like he's in charge of these beings, right? He's like, bitch, move.
Well, he's not in charge. He doesn't have any power. He's just.
It seems like.
Well, other than the fact that the Lord has sent him.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Is it almost seems like.
It's not us for. We don't fill in the blanks. We're not filling in the blanks.
Okay. Well, but we're also saying we're told we're filling in the blanks. Why not?
Totally are. Yeah.
We're
talking about what else are we doing? Because there's a lot of fucking blanks, man. Yeah. There's the whole world around this page that's blank.
All the facts section. Blank.
Right.
All the dates and times.
Right. The actual writers. This writing is the word of justice and the I did that one. Flesh, great, sons of heaven. I have written your petition, motherfuckers. And in my vision, it appeared to me thus, that your petition will not be granted in all the days of the world, and the judgment has been passed over you, and nothing will be granted unto you. And from now on, ye will not ascend into heaven to all eternity. And upon earth, it has been decreed they shall bind you for all the days of the world. But before this, ye will have seen the destruction of your beloved children, and ye will not be able to possess them, but they shall fall before you by the sword.
Jesus.
Those are big swords.
These are good.
Your petition for them will not be granted unto you, nor the one for yourselves. And while ye are weeping and praying, ye cannot speak a single word from the writing which I have written. While you are weeping and praying, ye cannot speak a single word from the writing which I have written. And the vision appeared to me thus: behold, clouds in the heaven invited me, and a fog invited me, and the course of the stars and lightning drove and pressed me, and the wind in the vision gave me wings and drove me.
Damn.
And they lifted me up into heaven, and I went till I approached near a wall which was built of crystal, and a tongue of fire surrounded it.
What?
and it began to cause me fear. Oh, dude, wait, let's fucking unpack this shit. A gigantic winds drove me, and they lifted me toward the. I approached a wall of crystal surrounded by a tongue of fire. It's a gigantic spaceship.
A wall of crystal. That seems like something that could be like transparent or some type of sparkly, weird.
What?
But it's a wall. It seems like it's a place he's going to.
Well,
and the gate has a tongue of fire around it?
No, there's a tongue of fire surrounding it. But if you couldn't, and again, the aliens don't use propulsion systems, so it wouldn't be fire. But crazy light, the light you can't see, light you don't see every day because they don't have light.
Yeah, the people. Excuse me. Old pastors and stuff would try to explain this stuff by saying, visions of heaven. That is, by saying that like back then these human beings didn't have very many words in their vernacular, so they had to like kind of.
Yeah. So they're exactly.
Might have been.
And if you think about like I just love like the lightning is striking behind him, scaring the shit out of him into running in this direction, and the wind like picks him up and
basically gives him wings, metaphorically, just takes him up there.
Yeah, just like he's been tractor beam, Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. I like Enoch. Enoch's badass.
Enoch might be my favorite book so far.
Yeah,
like
for real. Well, maybe it's it's just honest. This is really honest account of what happened, Leif. That's all.
Yeah, it gives the height and the names. You can really get to know the characters as it's building.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fucking crystal fucking wall and a fucking tongue of fire.
Jesus.
I've heard you've been called that before, by the way. Tongue of fire. Just drop that right there. The walls of this house were no. And I went into the tongue of fire and approached near to a large house, which was built of crystals. And the walls of this house were like a floor inlaid with crystals. And the groundwork was of crystals.
We get it. Lots of crystal.
The ceiling was like the course of the stars and of the lightning. And the cherubim of fire were between them. What? And their heaven was water.
What?
It's fucking awesome.
It's fucking really cool.
Yeah. So no, just unpack it. Like, so he's in the sky. He's been tractor beamed up to this gigantic wall. All he can see is like a crystal wall. It's like, and he passes through the fire tongue. And there's sort of like a house, right? Or you know what I mean? Like, and not wall,
yeah, it's like a see-through, shiny, glimmery, crystally,
whatever, right?
House.
Well, house. I mean, how do you say cockpit in 3500 BC, and that
and its ceilings were the stars,
and lightning,
What is that? Hyperdrive? Is that the warp drive?
Unclear. Oh. Or that's like just the open portal to whatever realm they're
it's
coming.
A metaphor. It can go anywhere.
Oh, I think it's not a metaphor. I think this is literal shit. This is literal. Kevin, don't
ruin our good day.
Don't. I don't want to hear any of your no. Because you know what, Kevin? It's because that's what I believe. Thank you. It's not fair. Kevin's not here to.
Yeah, I want to hear your opinion, Kevin.
So do I. I actually really do. But Kevin was saying that. But Kevin was making fun of those people, wasn't he? Where it's like, it's a dragon ship.
Obviously, an Apache helicopter.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun books from the time I grew up where people use these apocalypses in the Bible, in Christian writings, this and Revelation, obviously, to like, yeah.
This is
like
way cooler than Revelation, though.
This is way cooler. I mean, maybe it's shitty. Maybe there's like 100 genealogies after this, and we're like,
somehow I doubt it.
I doubt it, dude, because this has been like,
you know what? Because Enoch's a fucking boss,
dude.
He's not fucking. He's not. I'm not going to bore you with the lineage.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You know why? Because I'm E to the end of the OCH, bitch. What I say would all make you rich. You know what I'm saying?
Bitch,
okay.
Fly up on my magic ship, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so Enoch has been tractor beamed to the netherworld. Ceiling was like the course. A flaming fire surrounded the walls, and its doors burned with fire.
What?
And I went into this house, and it was hot like fire and cold like ice, and there was nothing pleasant and no life in it. Fear covered me, and trembling seized me, and I was shaking and trembling.
No fuck.
I fell down on my face and saw in a vision. Excuse me. I fell down on my face and saw in a vision, and behold, there was a second house, larger than the other, all whose doors stood open before me, and it was built with a tongue of fire. And in all things it excelled in grandeur and magnificence and size, so that I cannot describe to you its magnificence and its size. Its floor was fire, and above it was lightning, and the course of the stars, and its ceiling was also a flaming fire. And I looked and saw therein a high throne. Its appearance was like the hoar frost, and its circuit like a shining sun, and voices of the cherubim. So that's the what do you call the where Picard sits? You know, where Kirk sits? Captain seat, yeah. Out of the chair.
Dude. Yeah.
That's my favorite line from the prequel. Spock's like, Kirk just every chance he gets sits in the chair, even when he's not out of it. Spock's like, out of the chair. Yeah. So he had to pass through the outer like workings, you know, the cold and fire rooms to get to the hub.
Yeah.
Where he landed in the transporter room, and he had to go through that to the.
I'm having like. I was on this trip while you were reading about this shit, and I was wondering, because this tongue of fire thing is weird to me, because it keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but there is something about a pretty repetitive theme throughout all the canonized Bible about like the word, and the word being truth, and like. I don't know. Okay, I can wrap this up quick because I could take us too far. So anyway, in my head, I'm reading this and I understand this is an apocalypse, which means it's weird visions given from heaven and usually given to people in a really hard circumstance that need to keep the faith because they're either being persecuted or there's really hard times. And so now we're seeing this tongue of fire thing come up, and then it leads him to this house that's like, to be honest, this seems like the safest place in the world, don't it? Like, like, you know, if this was this is a fucking real house. So to not go too far into it, my head was like, I wonder if this guy's trying to like say to these people that speaking the truth, constantly speaking the truth, having a tongue of fire will like build this heaven on earth, build this like safe refuge for you. Yeah, I knew it would get this response.
Okay, real quick. Well, I don't think the tongue of fire brought him here.
No, I hope I prefaced that enough.
Okay,
with just being like, as I'm high reading this and like taking in Thinking
Yeah.
of every, yeah.
No,
No, it's like
that's
I like spaceships more.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
dude.
Right.
Don't blow the spaceship theme.
Yeah, I don't
man.
want to take
Come on,
away.
man.
That's I thought I prefaced it good. I'll work on that next time. But like,
Yeah.
right, like,
yeah, maybe Leif.
yeah, if it doesn't add to the conversation,
No, it does, except that it takes it away from the spaceship.
if it doesn't add to the spaceship conversation,
that's new. And if you're not gonna bolster the spaceship, can you just smoke some more weed, please?
yeah, absolutely.
No. Yeah, like and this is one of those times where Kevin's voice is in my head, where it's like, because I want I want it all to be literal. He's like,
I too am a California girl.
right, exactly. Right, he's speaking to me right here for sure. And it looked like, and I saw the appearance. Boar was the like the hoarfrost, and from under the great throne came streams of flaming fire, and it was impossible to look at it.
Wow.
And he who is great in majesty sat thereon. His
Jesus.
garment shone more brilliantly than the sun, and was whiter than any hail. None of the angels were able to enter, nor any flesh to look upon the form of the face of the majestic and honored one.
Oh.
Fire of flaming fire was round him, and a great fire stood before him. And none of those who were around him could approach him. 10,000 times 10,000 were before him, but he required not any holy counsel. And the holy ones who were near him did not leave day or night, nor did they depart from him. And I had had so long a veil upon my face, and I trembled. And the Lord called me with his own voice and said to me, "Come hither, Enoch, and to my holy word." And he caused me to arise, and I went to the door, but I bent my face downward.
Okay, so I think I do have to say something though.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty apparent, at least from the text, that the place he went was heaven and the throne room of God. I think that's. I like the spaceship angle, but at least to these people and for all of time, like it seems like they just were describing heaven.
Well, that's a lot of fire for heaven, isn't it? It's a lot of fire and a lot of standing around and a lot of tending to eternally for heaven.
I'm
not saying you're wrong. I'm just like,
yeah.
Does that sound? That does. I'm
sounds
not
like
10,000 times 10,000 is what,
100,000 fucking
100,000.
Well, it just must be like so many people to them.
Right,
To them back then, that must be like that's a billion people.
But again, people aren't in heaven.
Yeah, those have
Bodies-
obviously those are like some angels, or
Yeah,
it's just like he's got shit on tap. There's people waiting in the wings to do his will.
Well, not in the wings. They're all right there. They're all like right there, right outside the flame that no one can.
I thought the 10,000 by 10,000, no one are the ones that couldn't go in, right? The angels can't even go in, right? So maybe
none of the angels were to enter. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And from under the great throne came a stream of flaming. It was impossible to look at. He was a great image. His garment shone brilliant. Okay. All right.
fucking love this book. I'm just going to put that out there.
It's fucking great.
This is fucking fun.
If all the Bible was like this, I think you get a lot more readers.
Oh man, we would have a huge church. Yeah, it would be. It would. God.
I wonder if that who's the guy who wrote West Wing?
Aaron Sorkin.
I wonder if he wrote this.
I sometimes put his movies on in the background just to hear people use correct, like the English language, correct?
Yeah. Maybe they should have him take a pass at the Bible.
Dude, I love that man.
Yeah.
How do you watch The West Wing? Were you into that shit?
I own The West Wing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, every
Jen
third
Bartlett,
episode,
2024.
Dude, seriously. And 2020 and 2016 and 2012, please.
Please.
Can't we just have a? Never mind.
So it's got good writing,
Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. The
which is actually
door.
kind of suspect. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, because who could write well back then, right?
Exactly. So what if this was written a lot later than all that other shit?
I'm gonna bet down my face. And he answered and spoke to me with his word. Hear and fear not, Enoch. Thou just a man and scribe of justice, approach hither and hear my words. And go, say to the watchers of heaven who have sent thee, that thou shouldst petition for them. Ye should petition for men, and not men for you. Why have ye left the high, holy, and everlasting heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men,
Holy
and
shit.
taken wives unto yourself, and acted like the children of earth, and begotten giants as sons?
Sorry, keep going.
Answer the question.
Oh shit.
While ye were spiritual, holy, having eternal life, ye defiled yourselves with women, and with the blood of flesh have begotten children, and have lusted after the blood of men, and have produced flesh and blood, as they produce who die and are destroyed.
Okay.
Therefore, what?
I mean this in all respect and adoration, but how goddamn good was that pussy?
I mean, come on.
Come on.
I mean, if you're not getting any ever,
They
ever,
gave up
ever,
eternal
ever, ever,
life.
ever. I'm telling you, I think that eternal life is
Overrated. It's boring.
overrated, man.
It's like
Well, no, not initially. Oh my god, this is so
Right.
cool. And then
It's
and then 7,000 seasons later, wow, the leaves are changing again.
well,
course,
we've been on this cruise for like 600 years, right?
Oh, these stars look exactly like those other stars. Are we ever gonna dock? How come no one? How come no one has any genitalia on this ship?
That's biblical.
Yeah.
Jesus says, "For in heaven they're neither given in marriage or married." So essentially, there's like
Yeah, that's his way of saying
sex.
you're not getting in.
Annie up there.
Get it while you can. Yeah, get it while you can, people. And you know what? I think we should all live that way.
Probably. I mean, I'm incredibly high, so but yeah, I think so. I agree with you.
Oh shit. How good was that pussy? Totally worth it, gentlemen.
They're like fucking high fiving on their way to fucking nothingness.
Well, and again, you figure this is generations of 500-year-old. Like if humans are living for 500 years, and they had generations of this pussy, it's like might have been worth it. Hope you can swim. Therefore I've given them while ye were spiritual, holy, having eternal life, you defiled yourselves with women, and with the blood flesh have begotten children, and have lusted after the blood of men, and have produced flesh and blood, and they produce who die and are destroyed. Therefore I have given them wives, that they might impregnate them, and children be born by them, as it is done on earth. You were formerly spiritual, living in eternal life without death to all the generations of the world. Therefore I have not made for you any wives, for spiritual beings have their home in heaven. That's what I'm talking about. And now the giants who have been begotten from body and flesh will be called evil spirits on earth, and their dwellings place will be upon the earth. Evil spirits proceed from their bodies, because they are created from above. Their beginning and first basis being from the holy watchers, they will be evil spirits upon the earth, and will be called evil spirits. But the spirits of heaven have their dwelling places in heaven, and the spirits of earth who were born on the earth have their dwelling places on earth. And the spirits of the giants who cast themselves upon the clouds will be destroyed and fall and will battle and cause destruction on the earth and do evil.
What?
They will take no kind of food, nor will they become thirsty, and they will be invisible. And these spirits will not rise up against the children of men and against the women.
Can you tell me what verse you're on? Because
11.
11?
Chapter spirits, 3. And the spirits of the giants who cast themselves upon the clouds will be destroyed and fall, and will battle and cause destruction on the earth and do evil. They will take no kind of food, nor will they become thirsty, and they will be invisible. Slipped that in there without anybody noticing, didn't they?
What?
Invisible 450-foot giants. And these spirits will not rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them in the days of murder and destruction. Trademark.
Dude, my head's kind of
blown. Oh, dude. I don't think we need to do a lot of chapters of Enoch, and that's fucking a lot to chew on.
I'm fucking down, man.
That was fucking
down. Wait, where did we end?
We ended on chapter 15. 12. Oh no. Wait, why does it go from 11 to 12? I don't have a
yeah, mine is broken up a little different than yours. Yeah, I'm assuming
mine goes 10, 11, 12, and then 16. Oh, and then, I think that's the end of, hold on. Oh, it gets smaller. It's weird.
But this too much to unpack.
That's a lot. Yeah, like we really need to have Kevin back on here. Kevin, we need to ask you some fucking questions, man. But even like, okay, so what we gotta channel Kevin's
openness and he's smart.
Knowledge, his smarts, his damn.
Dude,
tongue of fire, trademark. Tongue of fire, trademark. In the days of murder and destruction, trademark.
As you were reading this, every time that tongue of fire thing was coming up, I saw that more as like a portal. Like
sure, yeah,
a weird, and
yeah,
it's like I'm interested to see what the rest of the shit says, because as we're like going like, no, maybe it's this. It's a spaceship. It's a motherfucking spaceship. And then we get to the next verse, and it's like, oh, it's the throne room of God.
It's the bridge.
I mean, there's a lot of people there, though. There's a lot of things there, and I mean, imagine how many people, the people that wrote this had interactions with. I don't think there was as many people. There's not nearly as many people on the earth back then.
Well, maybe it seemed like, like maybe from standing outside the bridge, it seemed like there were 100,000 people and none of them slept because they were all working to keep the ship going. Like it was the crew, and it just seemed like they all had the same fucking suit on. They all had the uni on, so they all seemed like they were never being swapped out. You know what I mean? And no one's allowed on the bridge except for the skipper and whoever.
I think it's good, but I think we're just doing what Christians do.
Well, that's exactly right, because it's our fucking religion. We're fucking reading the Bible.
We can make up whatever we want about this shit, assholes.
Totally, right? They did. Look how rich they are.
At least we're reading it, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But motherfucking, I don't understand why. I mean, I guess I totally understand why this wasn't included.
No, they're not fucking putting this shit in there. X that shit out. The giants? What the fucking invisible 450-foot giants? What are we gonna do with that? Are they still here?
Are they still here?
Maybe that's what cats see. Maybe cats can see the 450-foot giants.
For real.
Yeah, except
and maybe Todd's babies.
Yeah.
Babies sometimes look like they're tripping on stuff in the corner of a room or something.
Yeah, for sure. But then again, how would they be in the house? Maybe now, all these generations later, the babies are a lot shorter.
Just like
the
from hiding. And
Well, yeah, and
Just
just from
bad
like being
posture.
bred down. I
You
wonder
think it's
maybe
degraded?
yeah, yeah. Well, I think their the genes like period. I don't know. How do you have sex? How does a 450-foot baby have sex with a woman?
I
Very carefully.
uh,
Practice, practice, practice.
I don't. Jesus, there's a lot of
I
questions.
don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of questions. We need better scholars in our group.
Damn, that's a
Dude.
good one. See,
Yeah,
why can't
because
they all be like this? Let's
I
just read the
know.
uncanonized versions.
All
You
the
know,
apocryphal books.
you know what? It's like banned books. Why don't we just read all the banned books? Those are the
Well,
good ones, anyone. Those are the
it's
ones
just
that are going to
because
make you think for yourself.
they aren't the Bible. And
No,
in my
I'm,
well, my
I'm just,
opinion,
yeah.
my opinion is the whole reason I think we're even what not the whole we say that sometimes, but a great thing about this is no one's read none of these no Christians that I've met that go to church have actually read the whole Bible. It's a very small few that actually do read the whole thing, and it's weird when you do. And so I think it might actually. I think that's how we help shed light on some of this shit is by reading what everyone else has been believing and building their social and political beliefs on for years. Because I don't actually think it's healthy or good, and so I think we should talk about it. Try to move it to that spot for those people. You know what I'm saying?
Um,
So we'll have to balance it back and forth so we don't get too bored. Well, when you read Ephesians and it's like slaves obey your masters, that's you don't hear that from a fucking pulpit on Sunday mornings.
Well, you don't hear 450-foot invisible giants from the pulpit either.
Oh no,
So they cherry pick from the cherry picked.
oh forever. In fact, that's I mean these stories were probably cherry picked from other stories that were told around campfires 1,000 years before this.
Don't pretend like I didn't just say that.
Yeah, I was just trying to build on it, not take away. Yeah. No. It's like, yeah, right. And then they talk about how they don't cherry pick. Oh no, we don't cherry pick the Bible. We don't cherry pick the Bible.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I
I'm
guess if
fascinated. We'll go.
oh,
Maybe
dude,
we'll just do
yeah,
one
it's
book
great.
of the Bible, an apocryphal book. One book of the Bible, an apocryphal
Yeah.
book. Because we got to have fun. Like even
I mean, you were saying-
Ephesians was like making me depressed.
No, I don't care. It's like I don't mind. I don't mind it. But I just I didn't have my game face on when we started Mark, and now I got it on. So it's like I realized that like the New Testament is going to be a slog.
It's a bummer.
And honestly, like I don't. This isn't apocalypse to me. This isn't like
Well, we're not through it yet, though. And it is. It's got the first trimmings of the apocalyptic worldview.
No,
because a person is taken up to heaven and shown a bunch of crazy shit, and then explained what usually the future.
I thought apocalypse was a writing style.
An apocalypse was a writing from essentially it's like how there's Presbyterians and Baptists. There was apocalypticists.
Okay.
There was massive groups of religious people that thought they were living at the exact end of time. Jesus was one of them. I know, and a bunch of people got together now. And they're like, no, he's not, but they didn't show any proof. They just all said he wasn't. A bunch of these scholars. I need to see more of their stuff. But at least from the Bible, Jesus seems to believe that he was living at the exact end of time.
Okay.
So that's what this is. It's a writing from one of these groups.
Enoch is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, that's what the scholars I listened to said. I haven't read the book, right? We get through it. I bet you it's going to read a lot like Revelation. That's what I'm assuming.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, my point was that it doesn't read like Revelation.
Well,
it's not
better.
like all. Well, it's more like Revelations is in the New Testament, right?
Yeah, Revelation. Well, yeah, but it also Revelation. Remember, there's a prophet. He's named. There's a situation. He goes up to heaven, and he's given. It's the same. It's the same format. It's the same motif.
John.
What? Huh?
John.
What about John?
John's the guy in Revelations.
Yeah.
But John's not mentioned in Genesis.
No. There's just always a prophet.
Well, yeah, but Enoch is mentioned in Genesis,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's got his own book here. John, we know who the fuck John is, and
Not John. No,
John's like death and destruction. Like
it's
this
pretty
is
rough.
this isn't death and destruction. This is more like an Old Testament. This is more like Genesis.
Yeah, and I could. Yeah. But it seems cooler than Genesis already. So like,
Well,
if
it seems like the one they couldn't put in. Like this would just this is like all of it. This is like the director's cut.
yeah,
This is like the 4-hour apocalypse now.
yeah, this is the shit that Tarantino like found before anyone else and inspired
Wanted
him to
to
write
put
a
in.
better movie. Yeah, it's like this is the fucking.
Yeah.
I'm so stoned to come up with a better analogy, but like, I also John or the Revelation. It was written a little bit after the time of Nero, I believe, and so it's like that's such a bloody period for religious people, Christians specifically. Like that was such a hard time for Christians living that. Like that's when Nero would like light them on fire at night to illuminate his garden as he walked around and shit. So like, it makes sense why there's so much more blood and guts and gore in that one at least. Maybe there's more coming up in this though. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs it. His story's better.
Yeah, I agree. I already got a fucking shirt. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
bought the t-shirt already?
Yeah, I've got like the foam Enoch
the foam
hand in the stand. Yeah, like,
where's Enoch? Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's amazing. Okay. God, that was awesome.
Yeah, man. It's so much easier when the
content is brilliant.
And like, dude, it has me thinking a lot because there's some fucking shitty books in the Bible, unfortunately. Like,
we're gonna get to them eventually, but we don't have to be punitive about, slogging our way through the crummy ones just because we said we would.
Build the life you want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we should. We're supposed to have fun. I'm not trying to put everyone to sleep out there.
No,
trudging through dogmas and theologies of. Yeah, but man. I think that's fucking.
Yeah,
that's the shit.
Yeah,
yeah. Why don't we say goodbye to the people?
Goodbye to the people.
Goodbye to the people. Thanks. Oh man.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night. Good night, Mike Squires.
Good night, Randall. Good night, Patrick Boy.